Friends and fams, sorry for the late connection. This is real stuff, though. You know what I mean? Welcome to Twisted Radio, hosted by yours truly, Kosta B, Q and A. Today and this month, we have someone very special to me, to the Montreal community, and whatnot, Mr. Nicola and friend Torriero. Let's get him here and see. Obviously, we're doing this. Let's see how we're gonna do this. You see, I'm a newbie at all this, guys, so bear with, bear with. How did I find him yesterday? This way. No? Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. We got it. We got it, people. People, 2020 is not a bad year after all, right? So I want to welcome Nicola Torriero,
Hey,
the
brother.
man legend. How are you?
Good, you? Nice to see you, bro.
Good to see you as well. As you know, this is only my second attempt at doing this, so my technology savviness is still at a learning curve.
Well, I really loved the last one you did. Honestly, it was spot on.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Coming from you, it means a lot. Um, yeah, excited for the next 30 minutes or so. I know we know each other a little bit more than anybody else, so we might carry on a little bit more than 30 minutes, maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows? But
God willing.
so how are things going for you?
I'm doing good. Honestly, I can't complain. Um, I've had like around during this lockdown, I broke my leg, and it was a pretty bad injury. And I'd have to say, I thought I was connected to gratitude, but this experience made me connect at a much deeper level. And even though like all of the craziness out there, we sleep in a warm bed at night, we're safe, we eat, we have friends, we have a job to go to. Honestly, it's as much as things could be so much better, I really try to focus on everything that I have and how blessed that I am. This is what I
Same here.
this is what I try to do.
Same here. Honestly, that's what's been keeping me going through. I've cut off news completely. I don't really listen to the news. If it's something detrimental that is needed to be known, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Definitely.
Rather than all this made up stuff. But anyways,
Oh,
okay, yeah,
totally. I'm right there with you. You need to shut off the TV, the radio, like all of those news. It only bring stress.
Yep. So, Nicola, I'm going to do a little Q&A here, get our
Okay.
audience to get to know you a little more. I know a lot of people know about you, maybe not a lot, but most of Montreal knows you in regards to connection with stereo and rhythm is rhythm.
Yeah.
Let's start off with basic. Were you born in Canada or were you born abroad? When did you come to Canada? Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I was born in Italy. I must have been about 5 years old when my parents moved here. And what can I say? Like originally, like I come from a very strict, old style Italian family. And at first when I was younger, I wanted to play a lot of sports, but my parents were always busy working, renovating their house, and they never had the funds for it. And I go, I want to play hockey. I don't know, we don't have the money for that. And then long story short, around the age of 13, there was a drummer that came and lived in our basement. And I always wanted to play music. And this guy just took me under his wing, started bringing me with him when he would practice, go to his gigs, set up his drums. And I ended up saving for a good 2 years and started playing the drums. I played for about 12 years. And around the age of 17, this was near the end of the disco years, so it is way back. I started DJing, you know, and yeah, and I can truly say music saved my life. It really came in at the right moment where I needed it, and it's been there with me through pain and pleasure, you know.
So I guess everything happens for a reason applies to
Oh,
to
definitely,
that
definitely. Like,
experience.
yeah, if it wasn't like, honestly, I was going through some difficult moments, and if it wasn't for, his name is Roberto, having come and live in my basement, I don't know, like, you know, and it really, like, he brought me into this whole world of music, and I'm so
That
grateful to him.
intertwines, I guess. That I guess intertwines my next question. Where does the passion and your source of music come from? Other individuals are, parents that have were musicians and so forth, and it seems to be the quite opposite with you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, my dad, though, my dad was very eccentric. He, I mean, you know, he was very manual, always like a very hard worker, but he always had like a Super 8 camera, photo camera, would be always taking photos, doing collage. He had a reel to reel. This guy played all kinds of music and he would pretend to be like a radio host. And then we would sit around with him. He would interview us. He'd play music. And like, interestingly enough, I had gone to live in Italy a few times for about like 5 to 6 months. And once I remember this was really like, so I arrive in Italy, I go to a bar, take a coffee. This guy goes, "Yeah, I'll drive you to your house." I get to my place and I'm listening to, you know, GABA. It's like a kind of like hard techno, 170 BPM. And there's this like hard techno, 170 BPM just blasting from my dad's house in Italy. I arrive, I go, "Dad, what are you doing?" He goes, "Well, you know, I went to the marketplace. They're selling cassettes. I really like this, and I'm playing it." You know? And so this guy would play from classical music, folkloric, all the way through to techno. Like, I used to have my studio at my, no, this guy was a freak, man. I used to, like, you know, have my studio at my parents' place for a while. And, I'd say, "Hey, Dad, come in, listen." You know, I'd be producing and try to co-involve him, right? So one day, like, this is really like one of my fondest memory from my dad. So I'm doing the production. I go, "So what do you think?" He goes, "Sounds like pots and pans." I go, "Okay." Oh, he's good. So he goes upstairs, he gets his ghetto blaster, he brings it downstairs, plugs it in. Now, whenever I would have CDs missing, they would end up in his stash. So I knew where to go look, right? So there was a friend of mine from Atlanta, it was something. So a friend of mine from Atlanta had come to Montreal for a gay pride. He bought some pants at the Chateau, and he bought the first Daft Punk album. He went back to the
Nice.
States. He forgot his bag here. Obviously, my dad sees a CD and it becomes his, you know? And so he comes down with his ghetto blaster, takes out the Daft Punk album, puts the CD in. He's searching for the tracks. And then he finds the one that he's looking for. And he goes, "Listen." And he points to the hi-hat pattern and he mimics it with his mouth. He goes, "This is what you need in your music." I was like, holy fuck, man, this guy's like really listening. You know, like I'm trying to just make him feel involved, but this guy knows what's going on, you know? So I
So
definitely
it's
say a
your
lot of it comes from him, you know?
amazing. So, like you were saying, like how you started off that story, eccentric,
Yeah, totally. And like they say, the fruit falls not far from the tree, you know?
right? Right?
I think
Right?
I can be
Yeah.
pretty way out there, you know?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So now, I read a little bit into your bio, and this is actually new information that I found out recently through reading your bio that most of us know Ballon Blanc very well.
Yeah.
And you said that in the bio that you had a big part to do with this, and I spoke with trusting sources this past week that yeah, that's quite. You want to give us a little bit more info on that, if you want?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, so I'd say back in '91, I really, like, how can I say, I totally reconnected with this whole electronic music, and I just went like full in, you know, like I was working at Tonic on Saint Laurent, like a hair salon, and I just like, I mean, I started DJing back in 77. I was doing good till about 81, 82. But then again, going back to strong Italian, strict family, my mom was always on my case. What are you doing? You got like a trade on your hands, like you're wasting your time. So I don't know, just to shut her up, like I just really focused on my career, you know? But all along the way, I was always like, I was miserable. Something was missing because for me, the music was really important, you know? And I would do like these on-off parties here and there. But in 91, I was at Tonic on Saint Laurent, and it just hit me. I'd gone to Royal. Luc Raymond was playing. This was like 91, 92. And I was bit. That's it, man. And in the space of like 6 months, I went from being totally booked in a salon every day to like going full-time DJing two, three nights a week, like full on, you know? And so Playground opened not long after that. It was the first legal after hours in Montreal. It was Patrick Legendre who figured out all of the ins and outs, how to legally make this possible. And he was inspired by the Sound Factory in New York, you know? They would go listen to Junior Vasquez there. So Mark Anthony was the resident at Playground, and I had all of the long weekends. So, you know, every long weekend I think, okay, what can I do? I try to imagine stuff. And it was Easter long weekend in 94, obviously right before Easter long weekend. And I'm trying to think what to do. And so I remembered there was the Limelight in Montreal. And the Limelight, yes, there was the DJ Robert Ouimet. So Robert Ouimet to Canada is like Larry Levan to the States. He's the guy that inspired all of the Canadian DJs. I mean, he was really way up there. Like he would have Diana Ross going to the Limelight, David Bowie. It was really like, it was a crazy place. And I must have been 16, 17. I used to have my ear peeled to the radio live from the Limelight with Robert Ouimet. And he was like my idol. He was like my mentor. And I go, you know what? It would be time to bring Robert Ouimet back. So I booked Robert Ouimet and I said, let's do a Ballon Blanc with prizes for the best costumes, everything. So I spoke with Patrick, who was the owner. And it so turns out that his brother was the light man at Limelight. And then my partner back then, my partner in crime was JC. And anything that we used to do, like, we used to decide to throw an event and it would be just jam-packed. Like we would be creating mayhem everywhere, all over the city. I go, JC, I'd like to do a Ballon Blanc. What do you think? Cool. So Patrick, myself, JC set out to do the Ballon Blanc. The first year we had 800 people. The second year we did it again at Playground. We had 1,200 people. So now it was really growing. Third year we brought it to Metropolis. We had 3,500 people. And now, without getting into politics, there was another big after hours that opened in Montreal. They recruited my partner JC, and they basically decided that they were going to take on my event and put it in their roster. So in the end, some other people came around, connected with certain kind of people, and they swooped up the whole thing, and it was a major takeover. And this happened.
Well, yeah, like you said, we'll leave the politics. Yeah, we'll leave the politics aside.
But this is what happened.
Because we don't have battery in our devices to talk about the politics.
No, exactly. So, but that's what happened. So when they brought in the fourth year, it was at the Sepson, and there was 4,500 people. But that's the year that basically the shit hit the fan, and like, you know, other forces took over.
Well, honestly, the real knows the real at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the one Almighty knows everything beyond everything. So we sleep well at night.
Look, I have to say, I'll be honest, it was a tough pill to swallow. But by the time that I managed to just accept it and everything, it's like nobody can take away your mind. Nobody can take away your creativity. you know, and shit happens. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and it's up to you. You know, do you want to sit around and cry over spilled milk, or do you want to be creative and do new stuff,
Yeah.
more creative stuff? You know, and in the end, that's what counts.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Now,
Yeah.
also, I don't know if most people don't know this either, but your residency, I think, with Stereo is still running strong, even though throughout pandemic, right?
Well, I mean, I've been playing there regularly since about 2005, you know, and actually, myself and one of my friends, and he's also has a show on my radio show, Andrew Marr, we were the last guys to play there. I was supposed to open for Victor Ruiz, and
I
this
was
was,
there.
yeah, and this was right when this whole pandemic or plandemic hit, you know. And so obviously Victor Ruiz couldn't make it. And so basically Andrew came and played with me. And the next day, I think it was Caesar Simply City was supposed to play, but they ended up closing it. So yeah,
I remember.
you know,
I was there.
who knew that that was going to be the last night so far, you know? Like
No,
I had
I didn't.
no
I didn't
idea.
expect that.
No, at all, at all, at all, at all.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
that was a little bit of a shock, but well, there's nothing we can do about it.
No,
But wait.
exactly. We just have to hope,
Um, let's
pray.
get off a little bit off the topic a bit of music. I wanna pick your brain a bit. What's your favorite cuisine? Maybe people want to know what I know you're Italian. So
Okay, well, look, one of my best buddies used to call me Pasta Man because I can have pasta morning and night every day, you know, and I can still do that if I want, you know. But I like a lot of Thai food, you know. I really love that. Indian food I find is amazing. It's delicious. I recently was in well, recently right before this pandemic, I was with Jasmine in London. And everybody was telling me, telling Jasmine, did you bring him for curry? Did you bring him for curry? I go, well, what's up with bringing him for curry? Like I've eaten curry before, you know?
especially in England,
But wow, when you eat Indian food in England, it's got nothing to do with what we have here.
really,
Fucking believable. I'm telling you, it's like,
really.
wow. Every single ingredient, just like full of flavor. It's like unbelievable, unbelievable,
No,
unbelievable.
good to know.
Yeah,
Good to
yeah.
know. So people, when you're in England, try the Indian food
Oh, you
suggested
have
by our
to.
friend
You can't miss it.
right here. Amazing, amazing. If you had a superpower, Nicola, what would it be?
Hmm, that's that's a really good question. A
Don't even
superpower.
put off the grid.
Okay, you know what? If I had a superpower, I'd like to be able to stop time. That's what I'd like. You know? I really would like to be able to stop time. And the
It's
reason
amazing.
for this is because I spent a lot of my life, like the younger years, always like running around, running around. And now, where I'm at now, I'm savoring every moment. You know, like I was talking about gratitude before, and it's crazy because we're constantly like, we're looking for something that we already have. And by
Yeah.
stopping time, but by slowing it so down, it's for myself and people around me to realize, look how blessed we are. Look where we are, you know? That's what I'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I
Yeah.
like how you gave the explanation to why. You just didn't leave it like that.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But stopping time, that's a crazy superpower. That's a crazy super because a lot of people take time for granted,
Yeah.
and um, and then when you need the time that you took for granted, there's none. It's yeah, it's a great superpower.
No, no, no,
I like that.
exactly. You know, like if you have the opportunity to still be healthy once you realize this, you know, because it's not about how many years we're here, right? It's about being able to get to this point where you realize that. And even
Yeah,
if you can live, I mean, it sounds very cliche, But if you can live one day where you're fully connected, well, then you got there, you know, rather than
Yep.
living 50, 70, 80 years just like spinning around.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. So you said that you were just in England. Other than England, what's the coolest place you've ever visited?
Well, England is way up there. You know, it's I went with Jasmine. I totally loved it. I'd gone there back in the 90s. I mean, Italy is always, I'm from there. That's where my roots are from. So it always holds a special place in my heart, you know? And I'd have to say, like, for me, it would be Italy. It's just because in my case, like, I mean, there's so much. It's just that the people, the energy, geographically, the way it is, like, literally, you turn anywhere, wherever you turn your head, it's art. And if it's not art,
Yeah.
it's like just magnificent landscapes, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could be driving, you turn around and there's a castle on a hill. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's same thing as the whole Mediterranean would be like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
if you would.
Well, I haven't been to Greece yet, but yeah, from the pictures I see, it's pretty much on the same wavelength, you know, same thing.
Yeah. No. Also, you must have a bucket list of what you want to do. What's the top couple things on your bucket list that you still yet to do that are in the plans?
Wow, that's a good question. Bucket list. Oh, hmm. I don't know. You're catching me off guard here.
I'm sorry.
No, I know. It's
I'll
like,
give you an idea. Mine is the Grand Canyon.
yeah.
I want to do the Grand Canyon.
I'd like to see. Okay, this is the thing. I'll give you an example. But like, if it would be here in Canada, I'd love to see like or be present and part of in organizing and playing at and having all of this wonderful town that we have, and let's say do a summer solstice party like on June 21st. But I would do it maybe in Gaspésie by the Percé, you know, that big rock there, and just people partying outside for 24 hours, sunrise to sundown, just celebrating life, you know, everyone outside.
I love the fact that your bucket list is throwing a legendary party.
That's all I think about, though. That's
Yes.
what's on my mind. You know, I walk into places.
That is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm waving to everybody that's out there. Bucket list top is he wants to throw a legendary summer solstice party. How great is that? I think you'd have a lot of supporters.
Honestly, and you know what? Okay, I mean, this is way out there, but like, I mean, and will we get to see this? I'd love to be able to see like what kind of music are they listening to on other planets? Are there DJs? What are they playing? This is what I think about. And if ever like the Earth opens up to the whole galactic, how about being an intergalactic DJ and going around from galaxy to galaxy and welcoming people from other planets here and listening to their inspirations? I mean, this is the kind of shit I think about, you know? But obviously, you know?
Honestly, I love the way you just started making me imagine this now.
Yeah. You know, like it would be fucking crazy. Like the technology we have now, okay? Like I started with vinyl and anything is possible now with the whole digital, like all the tools we have. But I think like, what do they have? How are they playing? Is it through telepathy? Like stuff that we can't even imagine, you know? So I don't know.
Right.
Like I think about that.
Right.
Stuff often.
Right.
Yeah.
I love those bucket lists, man. I thought I was giving you a little bit of inspiration with my Grand Canyon. You totally topped it off, and like, I, thank you, and I appreciate that. So I know you started talking a little bit about what you've taken away from 2020, and there's a little bit of gratitude and whatnot. But um, yeah, that just give us a little bit more positive how it's going on with you guys. Because I came and saw your studio a little bit. That's a
Yes,
beautiful,
thank you.
and yeah,
Well,
it's
actually,
really.
thank you. It was so nice to see you, and you know, we got to do this more often, honestly.
100%.
And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's what I want to talk to you about. That's what I want to ask you. Give us a little bit more about rhythm and rhythm. Where did that come up from? Where did that? Because I know it originated on the radio, right?
yeah. Well, the thing is, to start off, Rhythm is Rhythm was the production name that I used to have when I used to do events a lot before. Like when I started the Ballon Blanc with JC, my like JC was Hardcore Crew, and I was like Rhythm is Rhythm. And all of my events I would do on my own were always Rhythm is Rhythm. And for me, Rhythm is Rhythm comes, it's actually a track from early house, I would say 80, 85, 87. And it's a track from Derek May, but he was going under an alias. And when I saw Rhythm is Rhythm, it totally coincided with what I think, which basically rhythm is rhythm anywhere you go in the world. It just speaks for itself. People dance to rhythm. It unites us. It brings us together. So rhythm is rhythm. Like you can't dispute that. So it's kind of that. It's rhythms. They unite us, and that's it. So I used to do events under that. And about 5 years ago, a friend of mine who was managing properties, one of the buildings he was managing, there was a radio station. He goes, Nick, I want to put you on the radio. Let's figure something out. So at first we were on the radio, and then eventually we basically ended up doing this whole platform, web radio. But the whole idea for this, for me, is to give an opportunity to either talent that's already known, or people that are good and they're not known yet and they don't have a space to, to basically, share their talent, right? And I love doing this, like, for instance, when I hear someone DJing, a new DJ that's really like, very creative, it brings me back to when I was like 15, 16 years old and I first started touching vinyl, It's, there's nothing better than like hearing people inspiring you and helping people, giving them a platform, to be able to express themselves. So to me, that's the whole spirit behind that,
That's great. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's ladies and gentlemen, it's Nicola Torriero with that is behind the possibility of Twisted Radio to be out there. And obviously, there's a big meaning behind Twisted Radio, as you already know, Nicola. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this matter?
On Twisted Radio, King Gian. Well, it's honestly, I have no words. Like, to me, he embodied the whole soul of this community that we have. Gian would be on the dance floor, and it was just pure joy coming out of him. There was bliss looking at him dancing. He brought everybody together. I'm getting chills just talking about it. He's so missed, like, and when you told me about Twisted Radio in honor to Gian, it's like, it was just obvious. It's a no-brainer.
I was having writer's block in regards to for a name for the show, and actually he came into my dream, as I told you, and he's just, that's it. It was done from there.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect to honor him, to keep his to keep his energy, his spirit alive amongst us.
Yeah, because it was just not just somebody else.
Oh
He
no,
was
no.
actually he touched every single person that crossed his path for sure.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a nice little interview with my good friend Nicola Torriero, who is the next Twisted Radio artist, which is this coming Saturday.
Yes.
Um, Be sure to download the app that Nicola has made available for all of us to be able to stream underground music, electronic music 24/7. Any last words, Nicola, before we cut this off?
Well, I would say connect to gratitude, count your blessings. Music is always there for us, you know, and times are tough, but no matter what, no matter which side you might be on, choose love. Choose love, you know,
Yes, sir.
choose love.
Yes. Love was always everything.
Yeah, always.
So on behalf of myself, Kosta B, Twisted Radio, Rhythm is Rhythm, Nicola Torriero,
Let's not forget
tune in.
Jasmine. Jasmine, my partner.
Oh, yes, as well. Sorry, I apologize.
She's a big part of
Yes,
Rhythm is Rhythm also.
firework, all the pictures, all everything, and yeah, she keeps you ticking as well, man.
Oh yeah, and she became a great DJ. You know, it's unbelievable. Like when I broke my leg, she thought that she was gonna like motivate me. She'd go into my black room to DJ. She goes, "Okay, he's gonna get up off that couch." I go, "Okay, try this, do that. How about this?" And next thing you know, it's like,
Amazing.
"Oh wow!" I was like, she totally impressed me. We do back to backs, and I said to her, "You know what? Just play. I want to hear you." Yeah,
Amazing.
she's quite
Amazing.
impressive. But yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
All right, you give her a hug from me,
I will.
and I will see you guys soon. Love.
Great. Ciao. It was
Goodbye.
great speaking to you, brother. Ciao. Bye.
Bye. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. A little one-on-one with my personal friend Nicola Torriero. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Whoever tuned in, couldn't wave at you at the moment. Still new at this thing, so we'll get better as we go at it. Love you all. Peace.